TheorySabers.com.
Hey, I liked it. I liked it a lot. I thought it was really fun. I thought it embodied everything that you want as a kid. Adventure, science fiction. Nothing really that screams Star Wars right off the bat, but it had the feel. I didn't think it would. You know, I appreciated the sets. I appreciated the immersion, the color grading, obviously. I appreciated the set design and the fact that they didn't use the freaking, what they used in Obi-Wan that made it look claustrophobic. And I appreciated the fact that they got freaking aliens and droids. And it's not just all humans. It's great. This is kind of like a Harry Potter story in space. And I dig it, dude. Totally fun. Kids show. Love it. I'm down. Yeah, they did great. The volume, right? That's what it's called. Yeah, what'd you guys think about it? I thought it was fun. As I was saying at the end of episode 1, from the, the kid not feeling like he belongs, his parents kind of coming down on him hard sometimes, the stress of school and being in that institution, being a bit of an outcast, being late for the bus, the stresses of a test, the freaking, the grand dreams of being a Jedi, something, wow, magical, mystical that still exists within the kid. A feeling of wanting more than what you are, but not knowing how to get there. The fake lightsaber battle. Just these little nuanced things that you just throw it in there, and it just kind of makes you like, and which kid didn't want to find a freaking UFO ship somewhere in the forest or somewhere, and it randomly like speeds you off into space. I didn't go into this with any expectations whatsoever, and maybe that's why I like it. But at the same time, I like it because it ticks off so many different boxes, and it's fun, lighthearted. Looking forward to the next one. I promised to sing from the rooftops tomorrow if it was good. I'm going to do it. All right, cool. Rating out of 10. Well, see, that's where it gets a little bit confusing, because it's like, are we going to rate this like Mando Season 2, where it's like, holy shit, Star Wars feels like Star Wars? Or are we going to rate this as, like a fun... This reminds me of The Goonies, Jumanji, Harry Potter, Zathura. I don't know, give me some other like kids' adventure movies, shows. But anyways, it's along those lines, and it's set in the Star Wars universe, and it's kind of taking us to a place where we haven't really been too much with pirates and stuff like that, which is more like I would say a more modern version of cowboys and, the Wild West sort of thing, a little bit. Let's see, am I leaving anything out? As for the guy being a Jedi, it's a little convenient. I don't know how I feel about this. I feel like if he was a Jedi, he would have gotten out of there probably way sooner, but then again, maybe he was just waiting for a ship or a crew or a way out. I don't really know, but cool. It has me smiling, man. Has me excited, feeling like a kid. The Page Master, yeah, that's one. Yeah. Guardians of the Galaxy, not really. Pirates of the Caribbean, yeah, feels like that. Had such a good time with you guys tonight. Right on, me too. I'll give it a crack just because you gave it a thumbs up. Yeah, look, if you're expecting like, Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker, don't go into it expecting that. But check it out. It'll give you a bit of those, it'll pull on those heartstrings from when you're a kid. I mean, if you had a similar childhood to mine, I think you'll resonate with this show so far. Now, that's not to say episode 3 and beyond will, shit on a lot of Star Wars, because we've kind of been proven that before. But so far, I think it's really fun. I like it a lot. I like it a lot.
A surprise, to be sure, but a welcome one.
I had low expectations, but it ended up being pretty fun so far. It's like seeing Star Wars Galaxy through a kid's perspective. Yeah, and that's the thing with storytelling is when you have a like, let's replace all of these characters with adults. It wouldn't have the same charm. It wouldn't have the same mysticism and level of magic and adventure. But when you're watching something through the perception of a child, well, for the most part, when we were kids, all of us, at one point, unless you're Benjamin Button, we had that sense of adventure and mysticism and something grander and greater than where we're at right now, what we're doing, but we don't know how to get there. It's that kid's dream. And somewhere along the way, when you get older, that dream dies because you just get kind of, I don't know, preoccupied with real life, the 9 to 5, the taxes, the bills, the surviving day to day, the rent, this and that. But when you don't have that to worry about because your parents, for the most part, are taking care of it, even if times are tough, and they were for me sometimes when I was a kid, you still feel like, you have that extra bit of time to kind of just ponder and fantasize and dream. And I think that's really, that's nice. Atten looks a lot like Earth. Dude, it looks a lot like my city. It looks a lot like Vancouver. How are you feeling for Andor Season 2? I think it'll be better than the first one, in my opinion. After The Acolyte, I really love this show. I want to make sure that I don't fall into kind of like let me hate everything that they make, because there are some projects that they make that I really enjoy, like Tales of the Jedi, like The Mandalorian. I think that's about it. You know, like the Jedi Survivor games. And I think it comes down to the story that they greenlight and who they have directing it and kind of helming the project. When you have narcissistic boneheads like Leslie Headland who don't know a single thing about Star Wars getting a $300 million check to just do whatever the fuck she wants, I think then you have someone that's destroying what George made. But when you have something like this that's lighthearted and doesn't really encroach on anything, at least so far, we're going to see what they do with the Jedi, if this guy is actually a Jedi or he's just in on it with everyone and trying to make a buck. Who knows? You know, kind of like he's working with the cellmates to fake the key and blah, blah, blah. Just so you can, who knows? I think you get something a little more hopeful. Hondo cameo? No, I don't think that was Hondo. Imagine throwing spoilers in this chat. I don't think there's nothing to really spoil. I love that this is lighthearted with charm and heart playing in the Star Wars. Yeah, and you know what? I'll be on Critical Drinker's stream on Thursday, open bar, because he invited me on to talk about Skeleton Crew. So I'm excited to see what they have to say as well, and it'll be good to have a little reunion with the boys before we do our show for Stupendous Theory. He's probably just a Force user, not a Jedi. Who knows, man. The Old Republic references are interesting. I think that the planet they're from is discontinued from the rest of the galaxy, like Sheltered Fun Show. Well, it's like an underground hive of scum and villainy that I guess nobody really knows about, or if they do, they just don't dare tread near it. The planet feels like Earth, doesn't feel like Star Wars. That's what I kind of like about it. Captain at the beginning is Jude Law's character, best guess. Yeah, of course. I thought that was obvious. After The Acolyte, says Todd, Star Wars had nowhere to go but up for me. But I think beyond that, George Lucas would appreciate this show for what it is. A kid's tale of adventure. Yeah, and that's, so far, I feel like George would be down with this show. Dad is low test and Fern's mom is perfect. Fern portrays more boy characteristics than the actual boys. Lucasfilm really needs to quit this gender switch delusion. Yeah, they do. But what I will say about this is that they're kids. And usually women, I find, mature faster than men up until we all mature, right? So, you know, when a girl is like 13 and a boy is 13, mentally I find she's more like 16. You know, what a guy will be like when he's 16 years old. And if any of you have kids, you could probably attest to the same. I don't have kids, but that's definitely something I've noticed, is that women are typically more mature at a younger age than men.